Welcome to the Kingdom Corner. We are your host. I'm Andrew, and with me, as always, is my great friend, Mr. Dale Baker. How are we feeling about this Chiefs and Eagles game?
Well, we have not we've yet to celebrate a victory Monday. So not
That is
great,
true.
but feel pretty good about where the team's at right now. I feel a lot better as I than last week. How about
Oh
that?
yeah, oh yeah. I will 100% agree with that. 100%.
Yeah.
So hey, make sure if you like this podcast, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, review, share it with your friends. Help us get all of these great content out to all the great people of the world and in the kingdom. So in this episode, we're gonna be breaking down this Chiefs and Eagles game. Here are the big questions we have to answer. Are the
Right.
Chiefs ever going to have a 100-yard rusher this season, not named Patrick Mahomes? Uh, can the Chiefs actually pull out some of these one-score victories again, like they did last year?
Yeah,
And are
yeah.
the Chiefs in trouble starting 0-2? All that and more is coming up, so come hang out with us.
Mahomes looks to throw it. Pump faking right side. He wants it. A comeback cut. It is caught by Kelsey. Touchdown! Kansas City. The game is over. The Kansas City Chiefs are champions.
How about those Chiefs?
All right, Dale. So I guess the big question is the 0-2 start, is it just going to be downhill from here? Or can
Uh,
the Chiefs still rebound and have a good season out of this?
well, the good news is there's 15 games left.
That is true.
And I know the statistics tell you like you start 0 and 2, you're not going to make the playoffs, things like that. But we know this is the Kansas City Chiefs we're talking about. This isn't, some Joe Schmo team that doesn't have players. I mean, we got 1-5 back there. And I mean, I just think, hey, they're going to get it figured out. One of the Hall of Fame coach is going to get it figured out. And we'll be, and, Spags defense looked a lot better. They seemed like they knew what they were doing, and so yeah, I think they're going to get figured out, and we may not win the division. Who knows? But I suspect we'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean the last time the Chiefs started 0-2 was the 2014 season. So it was Andy Reid's second season with the Chiefs, and they ended that season 9-7, second in the AFC West, which will also, as you might remember or know, is the last time the Chiefs did not win the AFC West.
Yeah,
So it doesn't mean that the season is done, but it's definitely an uphill battle to try to come
yeah,
back from that kind of start. So it's just how it is because you're already in a hole. You're going to be down two games in your division already after the Monday night game. You're already down several games to some of the people you're going up against in the AFC.
yeah,
Now, fortunately, we still play a lot of those people too, so those
yeah.
can at least come back within a game after playing and we on the head-to-head if we win those games as well. So, but I'll say this too: it means the Bills game this year might actually matter a little bit more in the
Right.
regular season as
Yeah,
opposed to just beating them in the postseason too.
yeah. And I don't know. I mean, we've looked at the Bill schedule. It's pretty soft from
Oh
what I can
yeah,
see. So I mean, I only know what the one seed's possible, and that's just Dale on a Monday morning. Now, if you ask Dale on a Wednesday or a Thursday, Dale's like, "Hey, we're coming for the Buffalo Bills."
that's
So,
right. That's right.
and so yeah, I just think yeah, they got a pretty soft schedule, which hey, it happens. We've had soft schedules and things like that before, but or
But
just
not in the
depending
last
on
few years we haven't.
no, not the last few. Well,
Oh
just depending on the division you play. So, like the
yeah,
AFC South is pretty poor. So is the NFC South, besides a couple teams, But
yeah,
and you just, and then when your division's a train wreck, that just
yeah. That definitely helps you.
that definitely helps. So for sure. But yeah, we're. I think there's still a lot of positives that we can take from this game and build on it. And so we got the New York Giants coming up here, and so that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So it's going to be uh, a great season. Don't think that because you've lost two games that the season's over. I still feel pretty good about the season after this game. Now, if they would have
Yeah.
lost to the Eagles in a similar fashion as they did against the Chargers, I would
Right.
have been questioning the entire season. I
Yeah.
really would have been because they did not look good at all against the Chargers, as we said following that game. And we both even said it's just one game,
Yeah.
but man, they didn't look good. And against the Eagles, they still had a lot of mistakes too, but
Right.
they look so much better. Their
Oh
defense could
yeah.
actually cover people. Guys were
Yep.
not open by 10 yards.
Yep.
And so, as you even point out after that, it's like, hey, Spags is going to get these guys together.
Yeah.
And hey,
He's gonna.
he did. He
He
did.
did. He did. He did for sure. So, I don't know where to start in this game. I guess we could start the first quarter, huh?
I guess so. I mean, that first quarter, it started off, I thought the Chiefs were going to go up 3-0. And so let's start with Harrison Butker missing the field goal to,
Yeah.
I think is on their second possession, but first scoring opportunity for either team of the day.
Yeah.
And missed it bad. I mean, as soon
Bad.
as he kicked it, I was like, he missed that. That's
He missed
no
it.
way. I don't know if he was thinking there's a wind in there that's going to push it back or what, but
Right.
that ball stayed on the line he hit it on and missed wide right.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, I still think Harrison Butker is one of the best kickers in the NFL. In
Hands
the
down.
last 2 weeks, he has missed some costly field goals.
Yeah.
I mean, even against the Chargers, right? If he hits that one that he missed, instead of us playing for a field goal and then potentially, a touchdown to try to win the game against the Chargers, we're only one possession. Now we just have to score a touchdown to tie it or
Yeah.
2-point conversion to win. This last game, if he hits that field goal, we're at a minimum tied towards the end of the game. I mean, maybe
Right.
it changes some of the decisions of either team, but still, it was just he is not off to a great start.
No, not yet. Yeah. And I know like we gotta remember 56 yards field goal is like it used to be, man. You and I growing up, like we never saw 56-yard
No,
field goals. I mean,
like
like it was always like a punt, especially for the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm like, and usually he nails those. I mean, he's very consistent. And so yeah, definitely he pushed it to the left and it stayed left. So
yeah, yeah. So, anyways, but he's going to get those things cleaned up.
oh
But
yeah,
but right now, those are changing some of
costly.
the decisions of the game, and yeah, and they're costing us games as
Yeah.
well. So, and that's not the only thing. Obviously, there's many things going to even this game, but yeah, that was the first thing jumped out to me in that first quarter.
All right, what do you think about the offense in the first quarter?
Well, I'll tell you this: we still don't have a running back we can rely on.
Well, we do.
So,
1-5.
well,
1-5's our running
that's
back.
true. 1-5 has been the leading rusher for both teams in our first two games.
Yeah.
So he has led all rushers across the board between the two teams. And I think, and maybe you'll disagree, but I think he's doing that because he knows we don't have a running game. And right now, I have to do something to will my team to win. Like
Right.
usually he's running like that in the playoffs. Like we all know he runs like that in the playoffs. But to
Yeah.
see him doing it that early in the season is very uncommon for a Patrick Mahomes.
Oh yeah, and I think he even said like it was to kind of spark the team, like, hey, let's get going. I'm trying out here. You need to be trying. Like we all need to be running. And so, yeah, Pacheco has not looked good here in the start of the year. Kareem Hunt looks pretty good, but he's just old, and I think that
Right.
has that go against him. I mean, not old compared to us, but just old as football years
Right.
goes. And so, yeah, just he's
Yeah,
not a
he's pretty
guy
young
you
compared
can.
to us.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
He's not a guy you can rely on every down, right? He's not an every down back
right.
anymore. And so just because of age, and you don't want to wear him out because it is a long, long season. So 15 more games
Yeah.
left.
Yeah, he had the best run of the day. I think he had a 11 or 12-yard run. I mean,
Yeah.
outside of Mahomes, but of the running backs, he had the best run of the day. I think Pacheco's long run was 7 yards, and so he looked the part. Here's the difference between those two running backs.
Uh-huh.
Pacheco has the speed and the burst, but he has no vision on the
Yeah.
field to see where to go.
Yeah.
And Kareem Hunt has the vision. He knows where to go. He just doesn't have the burst anymore that he used to have. And so, maybe one of these days we'll get a running back that has both those qualities in one
Yeah. Yeah.
person. But right now we just have two running backs who are the opposite of each other.
Yeah. So why don't you think, in your opinion, why don't think we've seen Smith or Mitchell
I
on
think
the field?
I think Smith is still struggling with pass protection. That was something that they talked about in the training camp. And
Yeah.
if he struggles with pass protection, you can't have him out there more because then the other team knows, oh, this is a running play because this guy's out here.
Uh-huh.
So because they're not, and yes, he's going to be out there a few times, even in passing situations. But for the most part, you can't have him out there if you know he's not a good pass blocker or pass protector because then it just cues the other team to know what you're doing. So
Right.
that's why we're not seeing him. And and again, he's a rookie, so he's going to learn those things. And so as he grows and learns those things, you'll probably start seeing him a lot more. I thought he's on the field more this game than he was in the first game, but maybe I'm just mistaken there. But as far as Mitchell goes, I don't know why we're not seeing him. I just assumed
Yeah.
that I know he was kind of nursing an injury this
Okay.
preseason, so I don't know if that's part of it. He wasn't necessarily listed as on the injury report, but maybe he's just still lingering that, or maybe he just hasn't picked it up quite as quickly as they thought he would.
Right. Yeah. 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 That's all very possible. So that's Yeah, I probably feel the same way about those guys as well. So, but we're with Pacheco and Kareem Hunt until Smith can figure it out.
Yeah. At this point, would you be open to bringing in a free agent running back, or do you think there's just nobody out there that can help us if they're a free agent?
Yeah, I think like we've seen like, and I'm not like even DeAndre Hopkins. It took him a while to figure out this offense. I felt like even though he's a really smart wide receiver, but it just felt like, and just a connection. But I think like a running back would be easier to bring in because you're either
Yeah.
running left, right, middle, sweep. Here's how you play. Yeah, I'd be all for bringing in a guy that would give us a burst. But I would think those guys are on teams um, right now. But yeah, I would wonder if there's like a practice squad guy right now that Veach and those guys were looking at. They're like, hey, this guy would be. Well, we didn't get him for whatever reason, and maybe we could, get off that. But yeah, Pacheco, you nailed it. I mean, this division, he runs into his line more than anybody I've ever seen.
Yes, he does. So
Eh,
he relies on his burst and thinks, "Oh, I can just run through people." And he's like,
yeah,
"You're not going to run through a 300-pound man, or
no,
really 300 plus pound man that's
yeah,
trying to block for you, who's pushing
right,
another 300-pound man. You might have a burst, but you don't have that kind of burst."
yeah.
So,
And then yeah,
uh,
you nailed Kareem Hunt his vision, and he always falls forward, even though it may look like a loss for two, he'll gain like at least a one, And so like I was like, yeah, if we could get a young Kareem Hunt again, that'd be great.
oh yeah, man, if we had a young Kareem Hunt, our offense would look explosive. And so, but I'll say this about this Eagles game too.
Uh-huh.
As close as this game was, and remember, I'm glad they had Jalen Carter back
Yeah,
because I don't want to play them and them
yeah,
win or lose or whatever the outcome is. Say, well, it's only because we didn't have Jalen Carter,
right,
or wait till we get Jalen Carter and see how bad we beat you then, right? But because I mean, we could have and should have won that game, but if we would have
yeah,
been able to do that, we would have been able to say we beat you with your full capacity.
yeah, yeah,
But even so, we're still missing Xavier Worthy, Rasheed Rice. Toward the end of the season, if we match up with the Eagles again in the Super Bowl, which would be the only time we play them again,
yeah,
but if we were, it's going to look like a different team with Xavier Worthy and
yeah,
Rasheed Rice out there. So that's why I feel confident about this team moving forward, and even about the offense is they did enough to try to win the game with how good their defense is playing.
yeah.
So with that, when Rice and Worthy come back, this offense is going to look a lot different and a lot more explosive, I think.
And why I watch the game, I always make notes, and one of my notes was not having our wide receivers is killing us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the one
Yeah.
and two wide receiver is just really hurting us because you practice when training camp with those guys on the field, you're practicing certain plays and timing, and so it's gonna be interesting to see because I said Xavier Worthy could have went, but they wanted to wait one more week just to make sure it
Yeah.
was fully healed, and he got a second opinion and said there was no need for surgery, and so that's good news for him
Yeah.
and his career. But yeah, I think it's having not having those two guys on the field is really it's noticeable. It's blaring, if you will.
Yep. Yep. It is.
So
But and I'll say this about the defense from the very
okay,
first series, the defense looked like they were gonna get some pressure on the quarterback, and
yeah,
it's mainly because Spags was blitzing the Eagles like crazy. I
yeah,
don't know the exact percentage, but I know at least at one point he was blitzing on 60% of dropbacks, and
wow.
so it's just he was
I s-
blitzing a lot.
I think it was the middle of the third quarter. I saw like one sack, seven pressures. So that's good. I mean, like making
Yeah,
them comfortable. And I'll say this: Jalen Hurts threw a couple balls up in the air that were caught that probably would, they were 50-50 balls. So yeah, definitely. But yeah, that defense played well all game. And that's why, well, we can talk about a little bit about the going forward on 4th and 1. But man, the defense played so good. And we maybe had the hit of the year already with that 55 Norman Lotz, the
oh
rookie,
man,
hitting Jalen
yeah,
Hurts. Man, that was so good.
man.
Uh,
I thought the Hurts was gonna bust through there,
yeah,
and Omar Norman Lott just
man.
broke off of his blocker and
Yeah,
laid Jalen Hurts out. I
yeah,
mean, it
yeah.
looked like WWE stuff out there.
Oh
So
man.
it's just, oh
It
man,
was
Jalen Hurts is going. I don't think he even saw that coming.
right.
I
Yeah.
thought Jalen Hurts thought, man, I got a clear lane, and he tried to sprint, and Omar Norman Lott said, Not today, son.
Not
Not
today.
today. So,
And then I
oh,
thought the comment that Saquon Barkley made about the Chiefs defense was pretty cool to hear from another perspective of a player, which we really don't hear a lot. But he's like he respects Spags and his defense, and like he said even the Super Bowl, I had one or two one or two, I could have made two big plays, but if you don't make them, that defense is so disciplined. And even the broadcast, they were talking about it. And so I think, like, we're going to get this figured out. And I think we're going to be all right. So,
yeah,
and then Saquon, we held him in check,
yeah.
which was great. And Jalen Hurts mostly in check. It was just some boneheaded plays that we made.
Well, I'll ask you this. Do you think Jalen Hurts should have tried to scramble more, or do you think the Chiefs just took it away?
I think he scrambled in parts where like it hurt us. Obviously, there was a couple times where he got away from us, but no, I think I think the Chiefs kind of took it away a little bit for the most part, and so or he was trying to get the ball out quick because the pressure was just coming from all over.
Yeah. So Jalen Hurts had 9 rushing attempts for 15 yards.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty good.
and keep in mind some of those are like the push tush,
Yeah,
right? So
golly.
so
All
you're just
right,
gonna get
don't
one or
even
I
don't bring
know.
that up. Don't bring it
I'm
up.
just saying. So that's why his percentage or his yards per carry is always going
Yeah.
to be low because he has those in there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so I do think that Jalen Hurts wanted to scramble a little bit more, but I think the defense did a great job of holding him in check and keeping him in the pocket. There's a
Right.
few times that I thought that maybe he was going to or should have tried to scramble, and he's trying to prove to everybody that he's a passer, which is good for us
Right.
because he stays in the pocket more. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that the Chiefs overall did a much better job of containing uh, the running quarterback as they did against than they did against uh, what's his
Justin
name?
Herbert.
Yeah, Justin Herbert. So
Yep.
for the Chargers, so
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
improved on that, but maybe it's just part of the scheme too. But either
Yeah, I
way,
think
they
so.
they looked a lot better, which that was a concern for me going into the game was containing the quarterback.
Yeah. So let's talk about the 4th and 1.
Let's talk about it. So, which one are we going to talk about? The 3rd and 1, the 4th and 1, the other fourth? I mean, but they're all the same, right?
They're
So,
all the same.
so they end up. If you didn't see the broadcast, they ended up scoring that one touchdown on it. But if you watch the replay, these guards are moving before the ball snapped, and
Oh,
so
okay. Oh,
really,
yeah, yeah.
oh, is that not the one you're talking
No, I was
about?
talking about where Andy Reid went
Oh,
for.
that fourth and
The
one.
yeah, the 4th and 1 in the third quarter on our own side of the field. We go
Oh,
for it
yeah,
fourth and one.
that was a bonehead play too. So okay, we'll get to the other one. But yeah, this one to start the second half,
Yeah,
the Chiefs go up. They haven't got a first down yet, right? And so,
right.
but they're close. It's like 4th and 1, right? And
Yep.
so they decide to go for it. So before we even know the play call, what are you thinking when he just says, "Hey, we're going for it here"?
Yeah, well, I knew they're going to be running, and I knew it wasn't going to be a QB sneak. I wish they would do that, which I know they don't have a like. I guess Hollywood Brown's fast enough, but you remember that play they would do with Tyreek Hill that won us a game in the against Cleveland. It wasn't Pat throwing the ball, but I've seen Pat do this play where it's just like a quick out,
Oh,
and then
yeah,
like the quarterback's running toward it was Chad Henne who threw the
yeah.
pass to Tyreek Hill in the
In the playoff
Cleveland
game,
game in a
yeah,
playoff game, and it was a 4th and 1, and it's just like it's like impossible to guard. I think why don't we bring that back every time because I think you could really use that. And so Pat, we could trust Pat. Or what was that play they did in the Super Bowl where it was like either an option play for Pat, either it was the Travis Kelsey or I'm going to run it. And so
yeah. Well, they've done that one a lot too
yeah,
over the years, and I think even last week against the Chargers they did that. So I agree. When they lined up and just how
uh,
they're lined up, I thought they're going to run this ball, and they know it's coming. And this is the Eagles have one of, if not the best defensive line in
yeah,
the NFL.
right,
And so it's just you might be able to get that a couple times, but for the most part, when they know you're going to run that and they know
yeah,
it's for a fourth down, they know it's big, and they know if they stop you, they're already in field goal range. If they don't gain 1 yard, they're going to most likely stop you. And then they ran
right,
it anyways, but they ran it with a running back who is I'm not trying to talk bad about our running backs, but they called the play which is our weakness on
yeah,
offense. Our weakness
right,
is running the ball with our running backs.
right,
They decide in a big moment on our own side of the football field, when we're going for it on fourth down, let's call a play that's the weakest play call that we can do
Right.
on our side of the ball. So it was just the play call made me more upset than actually going for it. Although I wouldn't have gone for it anyways because you're tied at that point.
Yeah.
You just came out of the half. Your defense has been playing great and holding the Eagles in check. And so, I mean, if you had told me going into the game that the Chiefs held the Eagles to 20 points, I would have said, fantastic. We probably won that game.
Yeah.
Especially if you tell me you hold Saquon Barkley in check. So, Saquon Barkley, I'll say too, just he didn't get most of his yards until the very end of the game. And I
Yeah.
think, I'll correct what I said earlier. I think when he ran towards the end of the game, he got more yards rushing than Patrick Mahomes had. But up until that point, Patrick Mahomes was leading all rushers. So, but yeah, on
Okay.
that 4th and 1, just it was not a good play call. It was not a good decision. Just all around bad choices.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I think like there's three plays that I think you can look at that cost us the game. The Harrison Bucker miss, which
Yep.
again, that's going to happen. The going for it on 4th and 1 because they got 3 points, so that was like
Yep.
a turn of the tide.
Yeah.
And
And
then our
remember,
defense, what was so confusing, our defense was playing so well.
yeah.
So, and we have a punter that could have kicked that thing back to the 10 and made him go the entire field. And then the tip pass by our tight end.
Yeah. That was costly. So,
Uh,
yeah, we were going down there to take the lead
yeah.
there at the start of the fourth quarter. And the Chiefs moving the ball great. First time they've moved it that well all game. I know they went for it on a fourth down early in that drive and got it too, and got it
Yeah.
easily with Kareem Hunt running the
Right.
ball. But even so, it was the best drive they looked all game. They get down there to the red zone, 2nd and goal from the 6. Pass to Travis Kelce, tipped it right to the other guy. He ran it back to almost midfield. But yeah, that's just maybe it got on too quick. I know Mahomes is always going to take the blame for that, so it's hard to really
Yeah.
know if he really thinks it was if his fault and is on too quick or. But Travis Kelce, if you asked him, he was unavailable for comment, as you probably would have guessed anyways, because
Yeah.
he
He's
was
probably, yeah.
visibly upset on the sideline
Yeah.
after that, and I'm sure he thinks that he cost the Chiefs the game, and I'm not saying he did. It is a combination of these things we're talking
Oh, yeah.
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it definitely was a momentum shifter because the Chiefs had just gained so much momentum, and from that whole drive was going to end in a touchdown or minimum a field goal to tie it back up. And
Right.
instead, it goes the other way and ends up being 7 points going the other direction.
Yep.
And so it was a huge momentum swing in that point.
Yeah. That was tough. But we did see one of the most athletic plays by a left tackle I've ever seen.
Oh, no doubt. Josh
So,
Josh Simmons, I
yeah.
mean, that is a big man running down that guy that intercepted the ball and took him out.
Took him out. I was worried he was going to hurt himself, but I'm glad he didn't. I'm glad he, I mean, showed heart and showed hustle, especially from a rookie. And so to not give up on the play, and it just tells you how fast these linemen are.
Oh yeah.
Like they are freak athletes, and so it was pretty impressive. So, but yeah, I feel bad for Travis, and just the tip of the ball. I mean, like you can't, and yeah, of course Pat's gonna make the play blame, but like man, it hits you in the hands. And Travis Kelce's known for this. He is sometimes he doesn't focus all the way on the ball, and so I know it's a lot going on because there's a guy right behind you. But again, Travis Kelce looked good all game. Looked young, looked spry, looked fast, and yeah, he had a good catches. So hate for him to have that one where it kind of just got away where you're going to score. And he didn't want me to have the over. I mean, I had Travis Kelce with one touchdown. He did. He didn't want me to have it. So
Yeah. Neither one of us did get in our pick six this week. So
oh man,
just yeah,
that's why
there's
we give the disclaimer. Don't take our gambling advice because we're not gamblers.
that's right. You will lose if you take our
Yeah.
advice. So, but yeah, Travis Kelce, if he catches that touchdown, I would argue it'd be the best game he's had in the last this year or the previous year.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but it is what it is at this point, and so your team still has to go out there and still you have to know sometimes those are going to happen. But that turnover was the difference in the game because the Eagles did not have a turnover,
Yeah,
and so just when you play good teams like this, whether it's the Eagles or the Bills or Ravens or
yeah,
anybody like that, the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to
yep,
win. And I don't
yep,
mean
yep, yep.
just dropping a ball, but like turnovers or costly penalties that are just mental errors like jumping off sides or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Those are the things that cost you games when you play really good teams.
Do you think this totally changes subject, but do you think like the deep pass is we're not trying enough or trying too much early and then we like abandon it and then we go back to it when we're desperate?
It's hard to say without seeing like the all 22 and what's going on
Right.
downfield,
Yeah.
but I would say that they're not doing it enough
Yeah.
because it seemed like they didn't even try it until on that last drive in the
Right.
fourth quarter when they're down by 2 possessions. It's like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should try this. The
Yeah.
Eagles secondary was the weakest part of their defense
Yep.
anyways, which we talked about going into the game.
Yep.
And so he was open, talking about Tyquan Thornton there. He was open on 3 different passes. One of them was a very difficult catch, but still could have had it. But two,
Uh-huh.
one of them he caught, and the other one Mahomes just blatantly missed him. I
Yeah.
mean, but this guy was burning the Eagles defense time and time again, which tells me if he's burning it that easily on the same series, they can't stop it.
Right.
And so why were we not doing this earlier in the game even if
Yeah.
it's this easy for him to burn them?
Yeah. Not having our wide receivers killing us.
Yeah, I know. So, and I will say this, Pat Mahomes is not necessarily throwing the ball where it needs to be on some of those either though.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
on 2 of those 3, one of them, the one he caught was a perfect pass.
Yeah.
The other one that was kind of jumbled around, it wasn't a perfect pass, but it wasn't a bad pass either. It's one that Tyquan
Yeah.
Thornton should have had. It was a difficult catch for sure, but one that as an NFL wide receiver you should probably catch if you're going to be a deep guy.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. Yeah.
there's another one though that Tyquan Thornton doesn't have anybody within, I don't know, 15, 20 yards of
Yeah.
him. And Mahomes just launched it. I mean, he had no chance to catch that one.
Yeah.
And when you're that open, you don't have to launch it. Just put a bunch of air under it. I mean, Russell Wilson has the best long ball
Yep.
in the NFL and always has since he's been in the league. And just you have to put air under it and let your guy go get it. So
Yeah.
you can't overthrow your guy is what you can't do. So and that's what happened. So, but anyways, we could have scored earlier in the game if nothing else and
Yeah.
preserved a little bit more time. Potentially, if we do that, maybe the Eagles have to get 2 first downs instead of just one
Right.
to end the game. But that's all just speculation at this point.
No, yeah, and the Eagles definitely had a game plan coming in. They were definitely I mean, they were running the game clock down to single. I mean, 1, 2 seconds every play, and so like they had a plan. They were like, "Hey, we're going to limit Mahomes's attempts here," and so when you do that, like it does put pressure and emphasis on like, okay, we got to do something. And so I think yeah, it was. I mean, Eagles. Pains me to say they did a good job. They had a plan at least.
Yeah, they had a good plan, and for the most part, it worked. But I'll
Yeah,
say, what do you think about the Chiefs' offensive line in this game? Because
yeah. I
remember,
think
in the Super Bowl, the offensive line looked very
yeah,
bad. They couldn't stop anything.
yeah. Well, I think it's getting better even from last week. I could noticeably tell a difference, and so uh, yeah, so yeah, it's getting better and better. So that's exciting for Chiefs fans. Maybe not the rest of the league. But and I mean, like you're gonna have pressure. I know people are gonna say, "Well, there was still pressure on Mahomes," but like that, like you said, it's one of the best defensive lines, if not the best defensive line in the
Yeah,
NFL.
yeah.
And so they're gonna get home. They're gonna win battles. Jalen Carter is just
Carter.
too good. Is just too good to be bottled up all game. So,
Yeah.
which I thought they did a great job. They did a great job on him. And so,
I'll tell you, the one that surprised me the most on the offensive line was Kingsley
yeah.
Suamantua. He improved the most of anybody on that team from week 1 to this last game, week 2.
Oh, well,
So, I mean,
yeah.
he was getting blown up in that Chargers game, and he held his own for the most part against the Eagles. So that makes me feel much more confident about this entire offensive line moving forward.
Yeah, and we saw Jalen Moore.
Yeah, yeah,
We had a
saw him,
sighting of Jalen Moore, so
and
which
he
is
looked
good
good
that
too.
Simmons.
So,
Yeah, he looked good. And then we saw, and then good thing Simmons came back. But yeah, we saw for a couple snaps Jalen Moore, so that was good to see that he was ready to go and played well. So
so,
now
so
let's
here's
talk.
the big question,
Okay,
though, too, before
all
you get
right,
too far off the
yeah.
offensive line. Do you think the Chiefs are going to have a 100-yard rusher this year who's not named Patrick Mahomes?
Uh, The only way I see it happening is if Smith or Mitchell come in or something, and because I
Oh,
just we I, you know like I think we could.
so
I
you
think.
think it's only going to be one of those two who potentially get a 100-yard
Oh,
game?
yeah,
Yeah, I don't think Kareem Hunt will get one,
no.
and I don't think Jose Pacheco will get one. Honestly, I don't think we'll have one this year.
Okay,
I
so
don't.
you're saying no. Smith is
I would
gonna
say
get Smith.
no.
They're gonna get Smith ready. They're ramping him up.
Like at some point we might have a
Yeah,
85-yard game for one of these guys, but I don't think any of them are going to have 100 yards rushing just because based on the evidence that we've seen so far, it
yeah,
doesn't seem that they're going to because
right.
Pacheco is the same. I know we talked earlier about his vision, and it's the same issue that he's had since he came into the league. He does not have good vision up the
Yeah,
field.
yeah.
So,
I think this is my hot take.
all
Pacheco
right.
has no, that's not a hot take. Pacheco has one more game against the Giants, and if he's not going to do anything, I think he might be moving down the depth chart.
That is a hot take.
Is it a hot take? That's not a hot take.
To say that Pacheco is going to be moving down and not be the starter,
Yeah.
it's a hot take to say that somebody's not going to be a starter anymore when you don't have any evidence that that's going to be the case with the
Oh,
coaches.
well,
So,
if they're smart,
well, I'm going to tell you right now that's not going to happen.
you think that?
Even if he doesn't have a good game again against the Giants, he's still going to come in as the starter.
Well,
Now,
okay, he can come
I'm
and
not
start, but he's
saying,
not going to get as many carries.
well, I'm not saying that more of these guys won't get touches like
Yeah.
Smith or even Mitchell, but to say that he's not going to be your main guy back there, I don't think that's going to happen. The, these,
Watch.
these
Listen,
coaches see
I
them.
got the crystal
Hey,
ball right here, brother.
these
I
coaches
got it
see
right
them
here.
every day in practice, every day. They know
Yeah.
what they're capable of and what they're doing. And you mean to tell me that they're like, you know what? I know you're awful in practice, but we're gonna go ahead and give you the start over the guy who looks a lot better than
No,
you.
no, no. I don't think they look awful. I just think like, hey, we're gonna run a chance. We're gonna see what Smith got. So let's put him in the spot. I know he can't pass protect yet. He doesn't know all the calls, but we're just gonna roll. Pat's gonna look and say, we'll figure it out. I'll tell him in the huddle where to block.
All right.
So
I think that's a lot easier said than done to say, go block this 300-pound man coming at you. Although he's probably not blocking this 300-pound guy,
no,
but still.
he's just got a chip. We need to get the screen game going. We just need to
Yeah.
get quick. We just need to get quick things going.
Yeah.
And then you won't have to
Stop the
block.
blitz.
Yeah, stop the blitz. So yeah, and then maybe we get some big holes to run through.
Maybe so. All right.
All right, the tush push. Let's talk about the tush push real quick.
Yeah.
Obviously, we are not in favor of banning the tush push, but we
No.
just have to be able to call it, officiate it fairly. I think this is what the
Yes.
big thing is saying. Is like
Yes.
even on our biased Tom Brady was making a point saying, "Listen, I think it was at the goal line. I know they didn't
Yep.
do it every time, so I don't want to say that, but at the goal line, the two guards started before the ball was snapped, and he said."
Yep.
It is impossible to defend then if you're going to let the two guards move before the ball snapped. So,
Yep. It is. It's exactly right.
yeah,
Well, and it wasn't just that play. There was at least one other play later in the
yeah,
game where you saw Andy Reid over there looking bewildered, like, what are we doing here? And he went over and
yeah,
talked to the refs about it. So, same thing, though. We're not against banning it all. I think if you don't like it, stop it with your
right,
defense, right? But the other side is if you're not going to officiate it correctly, then it needs to be banned simply
yeah,
because if you're not going to call it fairly by the rules of the game, then
bingo,
no reason to let it happen. So
bingo,
I'm not against banning it, but again, you got to call it within the rules of the game. And right now, that's not happening.
yeah, and it is, and I think that's where I think they could maybe again not for banning it or keeping it. Not really. I'm indifferent. If they got rid of it, I wouldn't be mad. If they kept it, I'm not going to be mad. But I think that would probably be the one case where you'd be like, hey, it's too hard to officiate. There's so many bodies. Like, where's the ball at? I mean, like where Sirianni like challenged that, like, hey, that was a touchdown. Well, you couldn't even see the ball to like even like definitively say, yeah, that was a touchdown or that wasn't a touchdown, and so like
Yeah.
it's just too hard.
I know they circled something on the TV and said, oh, right here's where it's at. And I'm thinking, it is? I mean, you see the guy's arm, but you can't really see the ball or where the ball
Yeah,
clearly is. And that's the rule of the game is you have to clearly be able to see it to overturn it.
right.
And it wasn't clear. So, hey, let me ask you this, though, or share
Okay.
this with you if you don't know, bit of knowledge.
All right.
After the game, the Eagles put something out on their Twitter. Did you see this or on their
No,
social media?
no, I did not.
they wrote, had the final score of the game like every team does. But what they wrote as part of the picture that they have was they wrote Eagles Kingdom.
Oh no.
Tell me your thoughts on this. Tell me
Oh
your thoughts
no.
on the Eagles winning and then writing Eagles Kingdom with the final score.
All right, Swifties, attack. Uh, unleash the Swifties.
That's
Uh,
right.
so, well, I mean, like, I think another team did this before. I think they call it Burrowhead, and we saw how that worked out for them.
Yep.
So, you want to come at the Chiefs? You better be ready to come at
I
us.
I
Yeah,
hope that those players actually say those words out loud in the press conference, Eagles
yeah,
Kingdom, because you want to tell me that they're not going to, the Chiefs, that is, not going to use that for some motivation. Oh man, just I'll
yeah.
tell you this, it filters down from their head coach. And I know he's not in charge of their social media, but their head coach is just a very arrogant person. So, and I don't think that is shocking news to anybody.
No,
When you're yelling at fans, even your own fans at times when you're not doing
right.
well,
Yeah, yeah,
it's not a good look.
yeah.
But here's the thing that this is why so many people don't like the Eagles and Eagles fans is because of little petty things like this. You can't just enjoy a win with your team. You have to
Right, right.
drag the other team back into it. Just
Yeah.
enjoy the win with your team. I mean,
Hey,
hats off to you, to the Eagles. You won. Great
yeah,
job. You had a better game plan and played more efficiently and cleanly than the Chiefs did. You you won fairly. The Chiefs deserved to lose with how they played.
exactly.
But instead, you want to keep bringing the Chiefs back into it. Just stop doing that. It's too petty, right? Just don't do it. So,
100%.
all right, last thing. I think the Chiefs are in a good position. I feel better about them, even though they're 0-2 than I did after the first game. And I think the Chiefs are going to be just fine.
I think we're going for another record. The first team to win the Super Bowl starting 0-2.
There you go. I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, you heard it here first. 0-2 start means Super Bowl from Mr. Dale Baker. So, hey, thanks for joining us this episode of the Kingdom Corner. This episode is brought to you by Oh Hey Threads. You can get your own super soft tee or hoodie at ohheythreads.com. We'll see you next time right here in the Kingdom Corner.